In order to solve our complex issues around sustainability, we're going to need people from all disciplines, from law, finance, environmental science, just to name a few, but also the nonprofit sector. In 2008, I was 12 years old, that was 11 years ago, and I started a nonprofit organization called Greening Forward that helps young people take action against environmental issues in their communities. I noticed my school's littering problem, and I organized my campus to help solve the issue, but then I asked the question, why? Why were people littering? And also how? How can we get more people, more students engaged in solving environmental issues? It wasn't because students didn't know what is going on right now in the news, that we're having intensified storm seasons and our oceans are rising and wars are being fought over our most basic of natural resources. Students, young people know that our future is insecure and we want to be a part of the solution to this problem. And this is what Greening Forward provides to these young people, an outlet. So I founded Greening Forward 11 years ago, and it still continues to be led by high school and college students all across the country. In that work, I found myself working with adult-run organizations, figuring out how do we create strategies so that we can fund young people directly around these issues? How can we support youth-grown environmental activism? Because young people know what works for young people, and it's young people's future at stake. This is how I got involved in the Captain Planet Foundation Board of Directors, working with the foundation to activate even more young people around environmental issues. I call myself an activist, and I think of that as my responsibility to the planet. It's kind of how I value my life, is how much impact can I create for others, my community, and our society. I think about Alice Walker's quote, "Activism is my rent for living on the planet." I also like this because she doesn't mention utilities. So when I think about activists, however, I think about Cesar Chavez and Martin Luther King Jr. and the Lorax. People maybe not in the corporate space. That was not my original vision of an activist. But that evolved as I began to understand that corporations wield a lot of power to create an impact around the issues that I care about. Consider that of the top 100 economies of the world, 69 are corporations. South Africa, Poland, Norway, all smaller in scale to the economies of Walmart, Ford, and General Electric. And so if we tapped into that corporate power to drive sustainable solutions, I began to wonder what's possible. So I studied environmental economics and management, environmental science in college, which I thought was a really great blend between science and business, because it's the scientists that talk to the business people and say, you don't really understand science, and it's the business people who talk to the scientists and say, you don't get business. Both are right. And I realized that both are important and that we need that cross-sector collaboration. We need people coming from these different backgrounds. So I bring that nonprofit perspective, working with a philanthropy, my business training, to the work that I do now with the Sustainability Business Resource Group at Deloitte, helping our Fortune 500 clients build out sustainable business solutions. our clients understand that this is an issue that they have to care about, but also pushing them to do more, to take it a step further, take their goals even further. But still, I still find myself in boardrooms where on this side of the table, you have people who went to business school, and on this side of the table, you have people who went to business school, and they both create business school solutions, which are useful, but is it really the most impactful thing that they could create? It's that we need people from different walks of life, different sectors, different disciplines, working together in the corporate sector. So we're all good? That we need this cross-sector collaboration, which is so important. And so I ask, are you a business leader who wants to scale your impact beyond just the profit margins? Are you a philanthropic professional who wants to move beyond just a transactional partnership to a more substantive and meaningful partnership? Are you a nonprofit leader who wants to leverage your programmatic experience and your community connections to scale your impact? Are you a government professional who recognizes that the services you provide still have gaps, but if only you knew the right people and had the right connections, you could have a better impact in the world? The world will need bold leadership around cross-sector collaboration. We're going to need that to transform the way that we do business and to address the emerging issues that we're going to be facing. I transformed, I evolved from the student environmental activist to the corporate activist. What's available in your evolution? Thank you very much.